Hello friends, so today we're gonna discuss the problem from AtCoder Beginner Contest 126. It's a very old contest, but the question seems nice to me and it doesn't come intuitively by seeing the question, but it's a nice question. That's why I made the video on this. So the problem name is 1 or 2. So you are given n cards face down in a row and each card has an integer value 1 or 2 written on it. Okay, so there are n cards and every card has an integer value written on it. Okay, now let AI be the integer written on the ith card and they are all face down, so you don't know what number is written on them. But if the ith card has the value AI written on it, your objective is to guess all those numbers correctly. Cool. But now you know that the following fact. So you know M facts that if you choose A of xi plus A of yi, all these two cards plus if you add this number, then this is an even number. What this mean by this, if you take down the look at the example, you understand that if there is one fact, there is only one fact which tells that if you take, so it means that there are three cards, 1 2 3, and if you take the first card value and the second card value and add 1 to it, then the number will be even. Okay, and same like if you know 5 facts, if you take the first card value and the second card value, add 1 to it, then the number will be even. If you take the second card value and third card value plus 2, the value will be even, and so on. Now what you can also do here is, you are a magician and you can do this trick any number of times in which you can choose any card and know the integer AI written on it. Okay, now you can either use your magical powers and find out the value of number written on the ith card, which will cost you magic of 1. Okay, so you have to find out the minimum cost to determine all these cards. Cool. And you can use these facts also. So I'll take it on to the drawing board to make it more clear. This is the second example which you have seen. Okay, now as you can see, there are 6 cards and you know these 5 facts. You know these 5 facts. Let's start from the start. Because you don't know any of the cards initially, you know that the first card plus second card plus 1 is some even number. So what you can do here is, you can first use some magical tricks of yours and know the first card. If you know the first card now let's assume that the first card is 1. It can be 2 also, but till now let's assume that it's 1. Then you can definitely know 2. Okay, you can find out 2 easily. So now you know 1 and now you know 2 also. Now the next can be, if you take this information that the first and the third card, you know the first card value, so you can easily guess the third card value also. Now you have only seen one card till now. You have used your magical powers one time now. Now you can use the second and third card and also you can find out, because you know you can either use this or this and you can find out the second and third card. Now you want to know the fourth and fifth, but fourth and fifth, both of the cards you don't know, and thus you cannot use this fact, else you know one of the cards among them. So you can use your power once again and know, let's assume this fourth card. Now if you know this fourth card, you can easily know this fifth card using this fact, and if you know the fifth card, you can easily know the sixth card using this last fact, and thus you can guess all these numbers using all these facts by just using your power twice, and that's the answer. You have to use your power twice. Cool. So now you are assuming that why don't we write the value of these 1 or 2, what are the value of these fill in the blanks, or like as you can see the cards, but we don't actually need to find out the value, we need to find out how we can guess the answer right or not. Okay, so now if we somehow know that these cards are connected, how connected? As you can see, if we know the first card, we can easily guess the value of the second card and then the third card, but we cannot find out the value of fourth and fifth card because they are not connected. As you can see, to know the value of fourth, fifth and sixth, at least one of them should be known to us, and that's the thing. You have to draw a graph. You have to draw a graph consisting of what all cards are connected to each other, because 1 and 2 are connected. As you can see, you will iterate over this, give information, and for every of these 2 cards you will make an edge between them. So this will form a component. 4, 5 and 6 will form a component. And thus, for every component, if you just know one card of this, you can find out the entire component, all the other values. I hope you understand. But now let's assume there is only one component 7. You have to know the value of this by means of your magic. So that's the whole thing. You have to find out the number of components in this whole graph. So how you can find out? You can make a list of visited nodes, and initially everything is not visited, and the total number of components is, let's say, 0. Now you will take the first node which is not visited, iterate over from the first value 1. Because it's not visited, you need to know its value. Okay, so the total number of magic you have to use become 1, and now you will iterate over this whole. From 1 you will iterate over all the nodes which are connected to 1. Use a DFS to traverse all the nodes which are connected to 1 and mark them in this visited array, because all of them can be find out using this 1. So you will mark out 1, 2 and 3. Now because it is finished, you will go to the second node and you'll see whether it is visited. Yes, it is visited. So you don't do anything. You will move out to 3. It is visited. Yes. Move out to 4. But it is visited. No. So because whenever you find out the first value which is not visited, you will increment your count and then traverse to this whole component of it and make it visited. You will do it for every node. If it got visited in this process, then you will mark it in this visited vector. I hope you understand. This is the simple technique to find out how many components are there in a graph. So let's move on to the code part to make it more clear. So this is NMM. N is the number of cards, M is the number of facts we know. We'll iterate over all the facts, store X and Y, we don't care about Z. We will make an adjacency matrix or adjacency list, for X and Y. We will make an edge between them. And then we will memset the visited vector, which will help us to find out whichever values are visited or not, make it to false. Then we will run our DFS for all the values of N. And whenever we find out a value which is not visited, we will increment our answer, that because we have to do a magic here, and we will run a DFS call from that node. And this is just a DFS call from you. If it is not visited, what we will do, we will first make it visited, and then we will iterate over all its children, do a DFS from all its children, and yes, we will come out of this loop marking all them visited. Okay, so we will mark all the children visited. Then we will do it again for all the children which are not visited and increment our answer. In the end, we will return our answer. I hope you understand the logic as well as the code. If you still have any doubts, please mention down. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Keep coding. Bye.